Let's flip the script on how we see ourselves as human beings, as spiritual human beings. And this is kind of what all that non-duality is telling us anyway. Whatever your definition is, you are not that. Whatever your definition is, that is not that either. A definition is only a definition. It's a tool for communicating, a tool for logical reasoning as well. But there are not enough words to describe anything, like even a grain of sand. You couldn't find enough words to actually describe it, what it is. So, non-duality is asking us to flip the script. Let's flip it way over and examine our deepest stories of who we think we are. We think we're civilized human beings, right? We think that history started when writing started. But the slightest little bit of inquiry into this will let us see that that's not the case. Obviously not the case. We know that human beings, we now know through archaeological evidence, right, that human beings have been around for 100,000 years, probably way more than that. That there have been human beings walking around who have the same internal landscape that we have, just painted full of totally different stories, living totally different lives. For 100,000 years, humanity lived on the planet, leaving very, very little trace. And then all of a sudden, short time ago, a couple of thousand years, in the deep Middle East, maybe 9,000 years, back to the Sumerians, right? We started building things. We started writing ideas down. And we, here in our hubris today, we call that the beginning of civilization. We think of that as the beginning of humanity. Now, many people watching this video are probably studying non-duality and like to have laughs at, fundamentalist Christians who are stuck to the fact that, God created the earth and humanity 6,000 years ago, and they won't budge from that idea, and their whole worldview is based on that. We'll laugh at them. Ours isn't all that different. We count the beginning of humanity from the beginning of civilization. Like if I was to put a video that said, I've found the ancient secrets of humanity, you're immediately going to think that I've found some old scroll somewhere. But writing is very, very new. Intelligence has been around for way, way, way longer than writing. And there is a lot of evidence today to tell us that the humans before what we call civilization were actually way more civilized than we are today. They were able to live in their environment without destroying it. They were able to live with each other without huge wars. Like we can look at our history, and our history is all about wars, but our history starts when writing starts, and that's when the big wars happened. Big wars started happening. People had to be convinced how to come together and create massive armies and move these massive armies around. That's kind of what we call civilization, right? Can we change that now? We are very fortunate today that there are still numerous pockets of humans who are living in the natural, uncivilized state, which is really, I think, which is really the natural state of humanity. I also think and because this is my experience, that we can calm our mind down to the point where we can each access that completely natural space. The space where our language is not ruling our perspective, ruling our perception of the world. That's really all that enlightenment is. The ability to see without your mind grasping definitions onto everything. That gives you a broader vision. It doesn't take some amazing person to achieve that, because your brain is always seeing things. You're always seeing bigger than your definitions can allow. That's why everyone's always saying you're already enlightened. Yes, you are. You always have the natural human being inside of you because you are a human being. That's also why we can just relax and go into it. Why when meditation calms our mind down, that we touch it. So touch that inner being of aliveness in you. That is the awakened spark.